The market is rough right now, but it is not dead. And a lot of people are getting completely smoked on meme coins. And I just want to let you guys know that I'm here to help. I've been doing this for plenty of time, longer than almost anybody. And I've been in this space for around 5 years. And I've done quite literally multi-millions every single year that I've been in this space. So at least a guy with credibility is speaking on YouTube, because I don't see any. Everyone else is selling a bunch of garbage. So I'm going to talk about Solana meme coins and a few ETH meme coins. You want to center your focus onto a few coins. You don't want to be looking on Axiom all day. You know, if you're a very skilled trader, if you played Fortnite or Minecraft when you were younger, this might be it for you. But don't go on Axiom. It's not for the average person that's watching this YouTube video. And what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to take some notes here, because it is very important. And I'm also going to be going over some stuff on what market makers do to manipulate you, to shake you out, and to also make you think that a coin is going to continuously go up when it's not. I'm going to be pointing out those factors as well in this video. So stay tuned. But to start, the Donald Trump circle, the Donald Trump circus has been launching left and right. Politicians backing every single large influencer in the space, every single large KOL, or whatever you want to call it, every big whale from every single dimension of this planet, backing all of these projects. World Liberty Fi, Block. We can see what these charts are at right now. We're not going to look at the Trump meme coin chart, but in reference, these might actually be good plays to look at right now. Once these find some support levels over the, I guess you could say, 4-hour chart, it might be a good area to actually start accumulating some. And for a lot of you guys, you don't have enough size to make enough money on these coins if they were to make a 20% gain, right? Because what are you going to throw? 25 bucks to 20,000 bucks. It's not going to be life-changing money for you. And a lot of you guys come into the crypto space to make life-changing money. So you guys can actually leverage trade on decentralized platforms like DYDX or like Wasabi Protocol. I'm going to be talking about a few other projects where, you know, you can actually leverage trade on those platforms. No sponsors or anything in this video, by the way, just kind of throwing out references. I actually make money in this space, so I don't need these ref links as of now. But another thing I need you guys to look at here is Block. So Block has been backed by every single big Twitter influencer that's within crypto Twitter specifically. All the important guys, all the big guys have backed this thing, starting all the way from, I guess you could say, the mid to the top. And this thing has only started to downtrend. Now, a lot of people are saying that the internal team are committing crime and they're dumping tokens onto the open market. But I honestly just think that this is a liquidity suck from World Liberty Fi because of the performance from World Liberty Fi. And if Trump and World Liberty Fi don't perform well, then Block is not going to perform well, because people see it as like a hedged, leveraged index to be able to trade on World Liberty Fi. As of for now, this can change a month from now. So I think that we're going to find some support around this $25 to $30 million level. And I think that we can be looking at a clean 2x within the next, I guess you could say, 3 months from now. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But this, in my opinion, is a pretty obvious play. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I have a few whale friends that are extremely smart traders that are also putting their money where their mouth is. But we're not putting any large size because the liquidity here is not big enough. I think you guys can see the actual LP here is like literally 900K. So like if someone, I guess you could say here on the top holders list, if one of these bigger guys were to like just full nuke their clip, it would just be like completely cooked for this project, and you know, everyone would hate everybody. So that would suck. So that's what I'm looking at here for Block. I mean, if you were to want to take a look at sentiment here, we can go over and search up Block, and we'll find things about Blockcoin. And this is what I want you guys to do when you're looking into these coins, is to actually search up the ticker on Twitter and look at what some of these main guys are saying. Not as if it matters, but more so as if you guys can get a better reference and idea of what the general retail public that is actually trading this thinks. Because a lot of times you want to do the inverse of what they're saying, especially these bigger KOLs. So like a lot of the people that are tweeting about Block are all paid, and I can assure you that, right? But I think that this is a good opportunity for you guys to look at this. Again, we have people like Crash here tweeting about Block, but this is a completely different Block from 2023, so don't get confused. You want to look at the most recent one, even go to latest. Tons of people tweeting about Block, and make sure they're talking about the right one. But we have a lot of big guys tweeting about it. They're all paid, kind of crazy. Some people are organic, but you guys know what that means. Exit liquidity for team and market makers. They're going to make a ton of money on this thing, which good for them. And before I get into the next coin, I know the markets have been bloody for for the past 6 months for almost all of retail. And inside of my group Upper Echelon, we've actually been cooking, which is a good thing to see because I know a lot of other groups have been struggling. And what we're doing in here is we're going on voice chat every single day. We're live streaming or trading, whether we're doing meme coins, stocks, commodities, even just altcoins, and we're trading live and we're helping bounce ideas off of each other, which is the most important part when you're trading with other expert traders. So for those of you who want to participate or be involved, there's a link down below. You guys can go ahead and fill out the form and the team is going to see if you guys are ready to join or ready to, get along the journey here. But it's been very exciting. So want to continue talking about this and excited to see who's going to pull off the first 7-figure P&L within one day. And I think that's going to come very soon as these markets are going to heat up for Q4. I think it's a good time to get into a group like this as well, because as we heat up for Q4, you have some time to prepare and to build up your skill set and to build up your, I guess you could say, philosophies behind how you want to trade. So definitely check out the link down below. We are Upper Echelon. But next thing is World Liberty Fi. We have a little bit of controversy around this one, which is pretty interesting. I don't think that they're going to let this one die out. They've put a little bit too much effort behind this one, and there's tons of money within this project for it to do well. They have tons of money to re-inject into this chart, which I don't know if they're actually interested in, but these guys have a ton of potential to actually ride this thing back up to anywhere near up a 50% gain from here within the next month or so. I mean, even if we were to see a 30% gain, if you were to go 3 to 5x leverage on this thing and take a little bit of a risk, obviously set your stop losses, don't get liquidated, it might actually be a good idea. Only problem here is that we haven't found some true resistance. I mean, you're looking at this thing, it just launched a couple days ago, but I mean, I would be a buyer for this thing, depending on what the sentiment is, around the $4 billion market cap, anywhere down to the $3 billion market cap range. I think it's viable. And I think that it's a great idea to look at this because this is a project that's going to continuously get tons of volume, tons of announcements, and tons of more things down the line that are going to be publicly, and I guess you could say mass push by the media. I don't know how to say the word properly, but mass push by the media in simple form. So keep your eye on this one because this is going to have tons of catalysts down the line. And yeah, I mean, I haven't even bought into any World Liberty Fi. I'm looking for a good entry. The only thing about Troll here, I know a lot of people are interested in Troll this cycle. The very interesting about Troll is its run up, right? So, I mean, we have this thing at like a $17 million market cap running all the way up to a $250 million market cap. Let's just say right here, that's a 15x in like 2 weeks, as you guys can see, 14 days. A 15x in 14 days is absolutely insane. And the only thing that that means is that while this thing was ranging, and I'm telling you guys, this is what happens. This is how the best projects survive. This is how the best projects roll. When this thing was ranging around this area for, how long was this thing for? For literally 2 months, this thing was ranging, right? People were accumulating, right? The market makers were accumulating supply. They were basically shaking people out. They were accumulating a ton of supply. And what happened? Once they got that supply, they injected tons of more money into the chart. They rode this thing up. They set some new levels. They set some higher highs, some higher lows. And they started ranging this thing between this range, right? We can see this here. This is what market making is all about. This is a market making masterclass. We can see here, they've just set the range between this $130 to $250 million range. And now what they're going to do is set it up for its next range, which is going to be $500 million plus. This thing just ran up like 75% because of an announcement about their new IP acquisition, which you guys have to pay attention to these things to understand why these coins are going up. But they just acquired a new IP, or they just acquired the actual Troll IP. We can see here, tons of people are talking about it. We have the founder of Pump.fun. We have like Solana. Everyone is talking about it, literally everybody. And that was a great sell the news event for them to actually be able to liquidate more money off the chart into their pockets for these market makers. So that was a great move by them to be able to make more money as a team. And that's what this market making masterclass is all about. And that's why on these notes right here, obviously I just put, let me just write this here. I spoke about block, and then block, fuck me guys, block, World Liberty Fi, and then Troll. We're gonna talk about some more Solana projects, but what I wanna say here is that you're almost never trading against others. You're trading against the market maker. MM means market maker, and that's anything above a $20 million market cap. That's almost for sure, because there's no projects that exist over a $20 million market cap, especially in this market where it's not fully market made, to where there's no market makers. Market makers can be an actual entity that's set to market make the chart. It could be an entity that's set to just market make themselves so they can profit. Maybe they have a little bit of supply. Or it can be centralized exchanges actually just buying and selling the coin to accumulate more coin or to de-risk off the coin to be able to provide that liquidity for the people on their exchange. So that's what market making is all about. And you guys have to understand that, is that you're literally not even trading against other people in Troll. You're literally trading against a market maker, which is kind of crazy. And that's within every case, other than if someone were to like mass clip, like we see people here. There are people that have a large amount of supply. I would just come to assume that majority of these top 50 wallets are market makers. But if someone were to nuke their 700K of supply, it's not going to look good. But the only problem is that you guys think that these are all holders. Most of the time in the top 50, top 100, it's like one or two guys that just split a bunch of different wallets amongst each other that actually have all the supply. And I can assure you that's the case with Troll. And if you guys don't believe it, I'm sorry. You've been living in a lie your whole life, and you literally cannot accept it. I'll put a guarantee on that, by the way. But again, you're trading against a market maker. Understand that shit. It's all bullshit in the space, just like stocks, just like real estate, where BlackRock accumulates a whole neighborhood and then they start selling it on your head. They tell you that you can't buy it, you can only rent it. The stock market, they move the chart up $20 billion in market cap, and everyone thinks that it was retail tweeting about it, that Tesla moved up 10% in one day, and now retail is happy because they all bought. That's not the reason why. It's just fucking market makers, manipulation, institutions, hedge funds, whatever you want to call it. They're just manipulating you guys. And I can assure you guys that the next move here for Troll, and they want to make this the next big thing because Pump.fun needs it for themselves. They're going to move this thing. Its range right here from its bottom, from its higher low. They're probably going to move this thing to 350 if anything. Right? And I can assure you guys, if that's ever going to happen, it's going to happen within the next 2 months. It just has to happen. And once they move it throughout that 350 range, they're going to range it between 350 to 450, back down. They're going to move it up to 500. I want to come back up to this video in a few months and just be like, I told you so, because that's what's probably going to happen. And if the market continuously goes up, we can see Solana here is an uptrend off the daily chart. I mean, if I were to look even at the 4-hour chart, we're on an uptrend here. If we were to look throughout this year from this low right here, from the $90 low, I mean, we're uptrending, right? We're up 120% from those lows back in April, which is when sentiment was horrible. And we've continuously gone up. But during this period, market makers and extractors and all this shit, all these different coins launched, and it's just taken away people's money. So I think a lot of people in retail, especially on crypto Twitter, are super poor. And the people that actually have money are just not participating anymore because they understand it's a bullshit game. But people have been losing money. Even as Solana goes up, people have been losing money, and a lot of people are sidelined. And it's a pretty crazy thing to think of and to see, because there are tons of amazing projects that will launch in the next few months, and they will come out in Q4 here as we approach October, November, December, which are crucial months because I believe that the markets are going to perform very well within those time periods. People are fucking poor. People are broke, and it's super crazy to think of because you're not going to have money to accumulate into things like Troll. And if you believe into my thesis here, again, I haven't really doubled down, tripled down here. I hold a little bit of Troll, but I haven't really tripled down on my play here. But if you guys really believe in Troll here, you can even run a 3x leverage play on Wasabi Protocol, throw in 20 Solana, your position size will be 60 Solana, and you can ride that thing up. Just set some stop losses, have some risk management, and don't be an idiot. And make sure to follow your own advice. Another thing I want to show you guys is Nub. So Nub here, very, very controversial coin, but for a lot of people, it's the mascot of crypto. It's the mascot of Solana. I'm going to put Nub here. Nub is a very important coin because it's held and been fucking trialed and tested throughout every single low, no matter what's happened. It's had these crazy, 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 crazy lows, and it's trended up to these crazy highs within a very crazy time period. And I think now we're in this consolidation period where this thing should be kind of bottoming out, depending on what's going to happen with its Twitter, because its Twitter keeps on getting suspended, which is absolutely insane, because then it's not able to tweet and build that, I guess you could say, attention around Twitter, because all their tweets go viral. And virality and mindshare are very important around these coins because Troll is like the #1 mindshare coin. Nub is up there in like the top 5. It's very important. So I think if there's any player that's going to be successful in this run, and if you can get into anything at a sub $25 million market cap, that's going to be of quality, bro, it's got to be Nub. Like, there is literally nothing else that I can think of that's within this range that can do so. Its community is fucking battle tested. Very nice thick LP, listed on tons of exchanges. Like, this thing is absolutely powerful, and it has tons of virality and potential. It just needs someone to provide it legs, so it can run. And its Twitter keeps getting suspended, which is crazy. But again, has a good amount of supply here as well. Happens, but yeah, they're probably going to move this thing up to past the yearly all-time highs, hopefully, which is what the hope is. And if that's not the case, then so be it. But I believe that we have a chance to see this thing back above yearly all-time highs, which is at that $50-60 million market cap level. I mean, if this thing is not above $100 million market cap in the next 2 years, I don't know what is going to be above it. So Artist here is absolutely a hard worker. And if he gives up, then yeah, the coin dies out. And then, all of our theses are fucked up on Nub and everyone loses money. But, what are you going to hope on for anything? Just like if you're investing in Tesla, Elon Musk can, hope to God this never happens. I would never wish this on anybody, but he can, be in a helicopter and the helicopter can, fall into the ocean and then he's done. And then Tesla's done. Everyone's going to sell their Tesla. So, yeah, keep that in mind. I'm going to look at some other projects here on Solana, but I mean, I want to continuously talk about the obvious ones because that is what it is. A lot of people want to play video games and just go onto these retarded coins. And you're just not going to make money that way. That's not how you make money in these markets. You make money by taking calculated risk. You don't make money by just throwing money at a blind board and hoping it sticks. And that's the difference between gamblers and people that have actually been in this space forever and have been battle tested like me. You have a lot of these kids. You'll have 1,000 kids that'll throw money at a white board, and 10 of them will have the money stick, and the rest of them will just fail and lose all their money. And then those 10 kids will look like heroes. And next year they'll do the same thing, and then they'll fail, and then you guys will all be following them, and then you guys will lose money with them. So then what's the whole purpose? Follow people that know what they're talking about. Another thing I want to talk about here is Pumpcoin. Guys, I posted about this in my Telegram. This thing at an $800 million market cap was the most obvious play ever. And, we ranged a little bit here. But now we're about I would not be surprised if we cross all-time highs here. Pump.fun has been very amazing on staying relevant. And I don't think that they're slowing down, but they have to adapt throughout this market. And if they don't, they're fucked because it's not easy to adapt in this market. It's not easy to, I guess you could say, curate towards the average consumer in this space because the average consumer is super brutal in this space. But, if anything, we have a great chance here. Pump.fun has tons of liquidity to pour into this chart. And the only problem why I'm not buying right now is because you had the opportunity to buy right here, to long right here. But no one did want to because over here, all the emotional kids on Twitter that have never traded a large cap coin in their entire life, over here when we were around these ranges, they were saying it's over, the space is over, everything is done. And what happened? Obviously, we were completely fine. This thing came back up, and this thing just ripped, which is crazy. And for a large cap like this to do a 2x, it's pretty impressive. And, again, we can say over here, even if I were to look at this chart, this thing looks super market made. It does not look organic whatsoever. And this could just be an entire PSYOP play to actually shake out leverage longs. Because a lot of people were leverage long. This could be the setup to wipe out these leverage longs, and they might move this thing back down to over here, might move it up a little more. You might just slam it down here to wipe out those longs, and they might move it back up because that's what market makers do. And as I said here, the thesis is, it's not the thesis, it's the reality, is that you're almost never trading against others. You're always trading against the market maker. And that's what you guys have to study, but you guys don't want to do that because all you want to do is just gamble.